Lorraine looked worried at first when she saw Norton there because she knows how he always goes ape at parties, but eventually she and Helen Kaczynski went up to the bedroom to put on some of Conchetta's clothes. Lorraine had the same outfit on she had worn the other night, and with a feather in her hair, and Helen Kaczynski had this faded yellow dress on, which she couldn't zip up the back because she's so fast. Helen also found a mangy fur stole that looked like it was made out of 400 Angora alley cats. Needless to say, she was quite the sight coming down the stairs. But Lorraine looked beautiful again. Even Melissa was staring at her. "Don't rip the dress, Helen," Lorraine kept saying. "I'm not ripping it." "I think we better take the clothes off, Helen. You're going to ruin that dress." "Say, Lorraine, are there any more Cokes? I need one to wash down those delicious miniature chocolates." By now the band was blasting like nobody's business, and the usual confusing things happened. Jack Brown came to the front door and demanded to see Janice Dickory, even though he refused to come in. Melissa Dumas and Chicken D, who plays bass, were making out on the porch, and she still had those roller skates on. Can you stop? You're distracting me. Gary Freeman, who goes steady with Melissa Dumas, If Gary Freeman, who goes steady with Melissa Dumas, ever found out, there'd be blood on the floor. After about a half hour after Norton arrived, I noticed he had disappeared. I skated through the downstairs, and then I got a little worried. I mean, like I said, he's the type of psycho who'd set a house on fire if he felt like it. "Did you see Norton?" I yelled to Lorraine, who was running around emptying ashtrays. "I saw him go downstairs," she called back, blowing a strand of hair away from her face. I went up with my skates still on. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Deanna Diaz and Janice Dickory were rushing down in costume. "Just like heaven, dreaming here with you." My heart started pounding like crazy because I knew if I found what I thought I would, I'd really blow my lid. At the top, I opened the door on the left, and sure enough, there was good old Norton putting the guts of this junky old oscilloscope back in its case and getting ready to cart it out of the house. "Hi there, Johnny boy," he said. Then he broke into a little smile as he went on with what he was doing. "Leave it alone." "Leave what alone?" I tensed, ready to punch him. "Oh, you don't want to be rude to your friends, Johnny boy, now do you? Share and share alike." "I don't have any marshmallow kids for friends. You..." "John!" I heard Lorraine yell from the foot of the stairs, and the split second in which I turned my head gave Norton the chance he was waiting for. He drove his fist into my stomach and knocked the wind out of me. I don't think I would have fallen down if I hadn't been wearing the roller skates, but Norton just picked up the oscilloscope and beat it. It was a piece of garbage, and if that got him out the house, I would have felt lucky. But when I got to the top of the stairs, I saw him ducking through the crowd toward the back of the house. "Angel baby, baby angel." I clomped down the stairs, which were draped with bodies by this time. The band was still clanging away, and Lorraine was motioning like she was going to drop from fright. "There's a car outside, John. I think it's a taxi." I remember thinking that it couldn't be the pig man. He wouldn't be coming home at night. He wasn't the type who'd get a crazy idea like just checking out and coming back to us and his pigs because he didn't feel like spending another night in the hospital. They wouldn't have let him, I thought. Of course not. When I got into the dining room, I heard the sound of things breaking. The noise was coming from the room with the black curtains. The pig room. "John!" Lorraine screamed. "Someone's coming up the front steps!" I pushed the curtains open, and there was Norton holding a large white pig, which he brought down suddenly on a table edge, knocking its head off. He looked inside and then threw it against the wall, where it blasted to pieces. Several other broken pigs were laying all over the floor, and the only thing I could think of at that moment was the proud and happy look on Mr. Pignotti's face when he had shown us the pigs that first day. I felt like killing Norton as I plowed into him, punching his face like it was a stack of flour. After I got a couple of good blows in, he dug his elbow into my ribs and kicked the skates out from under me. That gave him a chance to pick up the oscilloscope and head for the door like a scared rat. I went racing out of the room and noticed the band had stopped playing. I knew the place was emptying, and suddenly I realized what Lorraine was saying. "The pig man's here!" A second later, my hands grabbed the back of Norton's neck, and I pushed him forward with so much force he must have traveled the length of the living room before we both fell to the floor. The oscilloscope shattered right near the front hallway, and when I saw the blood pouring out of Norton's nose, I was so happy I began to laugh. But then It was quiet. Finally, I managed to lift my head and saw Mr. Pignotti at the door. He was just standing there looking down at me, and there was no smile on his face. No smile at all. That's when I passed out.